Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video we're going to open up a booster box's worth of first edition Jungle Heavy Packs. So I busted a box. The guy had bought the box off of me. He wanted me to open up the heavy packs on camera for YouTube, and then he also wanted to have the holos graded, and it worked out perfectly. There were 12 heavy packs. These were like mega heavy packs. They were like 21.4 grams, and some of them were even heavier than that, where in all of my other jungle boxes they've always been right around 21, but almost every pack in here was right around 21, and then these were like 21.4. But there was 4 of each artwork, so we're going to open up. We're going to do 2 at a time. I'm going to do these 6. I'm going to do all cut on the top, and then I'm going to cut the other 6 on the bottom, because he'd like to keep the pack artworks, and he's also trying to get the cards graded. So we're going to be really careful and open up this stuff. But I'm kind of excited. The fact that the pack weights were different, maybe this was like a different facility or something where the stock was different, and maybe we have a shot at getting some cool errors out of these packs. Alright, so we're going to be really careful. I'm going to count off 1, 2, 3. This should be the holo. Let's set these down. Looking at the condition on the back, it looks really nice. I know he's trying to get a PSA 10 set, so we'll just see what we can get. Alright, we're going to start off with Bellsprout. We've got Rhyhorn, Jigglypuff, Nidoran, Execute, Meowth, Eevee, Nidorina, Rapidash, now that's a cool one. Only fire, I believe, and then Parasect. Let's see what we have for the holo. Vileplume, oh man, let's see what it looks like on the front. So the holo looks pretty good. I can't tell if that's a print line there. It's not really like a line, but maybe like some kind of shadow effect or something. The border does have a little bit of chipping on it. Let's see if it'll zoom in. But it's not bad enough to where I think it may not affect the grade. We'll just have to see what PSA thinks when we send it off there. But that one's probably got a shot, a 9, maybe a 10, depending on that line and how they look at the silvering on the side. I've seen some where they don't count off for that silvering on the edge, and some where they take off a grade or 2. So here's pack number 2. Remember, there are errors in this set. We've got the scratch pincer, which I'll have to show to you if we pull it. We've got the line Venonat. You got the first edition Pikachu. That's the Ivy Pikachu, the promo number 1. And then there's also the Butterfree with the D in the first edition stamp, which a lot of people know about that one. That's probably the one that most people know about. So we don't have the line on the Venonat, or at least on that one. It may be something that's only limited to some of the cards. Got Lickitung, Dodrio, and then another Parasect. Let's see what we get for the holo. And we're looking at the back first. Looks pretty clean. I'm not really seeing much for whitening. Oh man, Vaporeon. This is probably the hardest one in the set to get in a PSA 10. Man, just look at that. I'm not really seeing anything wrong with it. There's not even any silvering on the side. Wow, that's a beauty. I think that one's got a real shot at a PSA 10. Man, you about couldn't ask for a better pull. Vaporeon was never my favorite, mainly because you could get it in the theme deck. Not the first edition version, but the unlimited version. And it just made it less popular than Jolteon or Flareon, in which those two are like mega popular. All 3 people liked because they're all evolutions of Eevee, of course. Now wouldn't that be cool if we pulled all 3 of those? Put that in there. Set it off to the side. On to pack number 3. Already got us 2 good clean pulls. Got Mankey, Jigglypuff, Paris, Execute, Eevee, no line on that Venonat. Got a Cubone, Executor, Seeking, and a Marowak. Alright, let's see what we get for the holo. Pidgeot. Ooh, that's a tough one too. Man, let's look at it. The holo looks super clean. The edge isn't too bad. There is a little bit of whitening that you can see. See if it shows up on the edge any. But it's not bad. I'd say that this Pidgeot is better than the Vileplume, but not quite as good as the Vaporeon. Man, pulling all these clean holos, it's got me thinking I should open this box. But it's probably a good thing I didn't. If I open up everything myself, I'd never make any money. Because it takes so long to get all this stuff back. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Man, it looks like another clean holo. I can already see a little white dot down there at the bottom. So, whatever this is, it may not have a shot at the 10. But we'll just have to see. So we got Meowth, Eevee, Pokeball, another Pikachu, Spearow, Cubone, Rhyhorn, Lickitung, Tauros, and Fearow. Still haven't pulled a Butterfree yet, so we don't know if that one's going to be coming out of here. And get a Mr. Mime. So he actually had a Mr. Mime in the last video, and it had the same kind of issues right here, just a few, like 2 little lines. With this being a dark Pokemon, it could be something that's overlooked by PSA, but as strict as they've been lately, I really doubt that. I think that one's probably got a 9 on it. Next up, we're going into the Flareon artworks. 1, 2, 3. Let's sleeve this one up. We'll check out the set cards, or the commons and the non-holos, commons and the uncommons. Hopefully, we've got Venonat, Cubone, Oddish, Mankey, Pokeball, Paris, Spearow, Persian, Tauros, and Butterfree. But it doesn't have that D error where there's an ink bubble in the middle of that one. Still a really cool card. Probably the best uncommon you can pull with the error or without it. Clefable. There we go. There's a good one. Checking out that holo. I'm sure some of you spot it. There's a little line right in here. Something going on right there up and down. So this one probably won't get to 10. It's got pretty clean borders around the edge. But again, I mean, you're talking about really small issues. Overall, really good looking cards. I mean, anyone would put that into their mint collection. Well, I'm sure there's some people who would not. Let me take that back. But most anyone would put that into their collection. And it's still definitely grade worthy. So this will mark the halfway mark of this video. Still no Flareon or Jolteon. I'm optimistic that we'll get both. Backside looks alright. A little coming up a little bit there on the edge. You can see where I cut my finger. Oh, I almost flipped that without showing the other cards first. Got ahead of myself. So we've got Oddish, Mankey, Pokeball, Paris, Spearow, Goldeen. There's another Pikachu, I think that's the third, Vidon, Persian, and a second Butterfree. Alright, let's see what we get for the holo. Nidoqueen. Man. Now that one looks really clean. I'd say that one, in the hollow area, is kind of like the Vaporeon, but on the edge you can see some silvering right along there. So it's not, I still think the Vaporeon is probably the best condition card we've pulled out of here. That's the only one that I would say that I've looked at that just looked like a 10 all the way. But maybe some of you who are watching this, you picked up on something that I didn't. So if you did, why don't you just make a comment about that in the description, and I'll look at that before all this stuff gets sent off. Now I'm going to start cutting the bottoms, because he wanted me to cut some up top and some down below, so I'm going to cut half each way. 1, 2, 3. This one, I can see a little white dot in the bottom right corner down here. And then this edge, it looks like it's white all the way, but it's not really. That's just the way that some of the cards were made back then. The cutting process wasn't completely up to snuff. Cubone, Meowth, Bellsprout, Spearow, Eevee, Pikachu, Goldeen, Weeping Bell, Seeking, and Lickitung. Then our holo is Electrode. I think this one's a pretty tough 10 to get. Looking at that back, I'm going to say with pretty good confidence it's not going to get a 10. Got a few little really light issues in the holo right there. Some light silvering on the edge. And I'll say this much. I've seen worse 10s than all of these holos that we have up here. And I think all of us have. But if you send all these in, there's no way that you're going to get someone who's going to overlook all the little dots that, you know, add up between the cards. So I think any of these have a possibility at a 10. Like, there's nothing super standout, just really, really small stuff. But it's not likely that we'll see a 10 on any of these that have some kind of issue in the holo or on the back edge. 1, 2, 3. And me going through this condition in such detail is kind of for documentation too, for the guy who bought these packs, so he can kind of see what's going on and what he should expect from them. Got Nidoran, Goldeen, Jigglypuff, Oddish, Mankey, Paris, Bellsprout, and Gloom, Executor, Primate. Then our holo is Scyther. Man, he's always one of my favorites. Man, it looks good though. Wow, that front looks really good. A little bit of silvering on the edge if you flash it the right way. The back side, I think I remember seeing a little white dot right there. But it's very possible being in that spot instead of one of the corners or on this side, because a lot of people are right-handed, so they're going to be looking at this side first. That may get overlooked, but I would still put that at a 9. All right. I think we're still cutting on the bottom, right? Yeah. There's 4 packs left. If I had my say of what pulls they should be, I would want, of course, Jolteon, of course, Flareon. I'd want Scratch Scyther, which I hope I can show you guys what that is. I'll maybe explain it on this next holo, unless it is a Pinsir and you can kind of see it. And then maybe, let's see, what could we do other than those? I'd say maybe a Wigglytuff. That'd be kind of cool. Don't really want a Kangaskhan, but it would be a Kangaskhan. Oh, I guess we're going to show the uncommons first. A Kangaskhan would be good for this guy, especially since he's going for PSA 10s, because it's a really tough PSA 10 if I remember right. Jigglypuff, Paris, Execute, and Eevee. So looking at the back side, it looks pretty good. I don't see anything stand out. Flareon. Oh man, there we go. Dude, it looks good. Oh man. And this is just like the Vaporeon. It's like there's nothing wrong with it on the front or on the back. It looks great. Man, that's got a real shot at a 10. I think that should get a 10. We still have 3 packs to go. Let's see what we can get. Man, that made me smile a little bit pulling that Flareon. I know Jim at Pokemon, if you're watching this, you're waiting for that Jolteon to come out. We're running out of cards for us to be able to pull. Man, I'm glad that the holo wasn't on the back side. You can see that. It's got immediate damage right there. And then I'll go back over all these holos. I'll just show them one last time on camera at the end. It's got Marowak, Parasect, Lickitung, Rhyhorn, Venonat, Bellsprout, Spearow, Meowth, Mankey, Goldeen, and then Clefable. Oh, we pulled a double. So we got 2 Clefables that we pulled. I would have been fine with pulling 2 Flareons or 2 Vaporeons. Let's see if this one's any better. Looks like it's got that same issue right there. You can tell these are from the same sheet. but maybe one of them will grab a 10. So I forgot to explain it in the last on the last one. I got kind of excited when we pulled the Flareon, but the scratch bars are right there on the pincer. It kind of looks like a little X scratch that it's just there's like no ink. It just shows the hollow foil part on it. And there's a couple of those out there. I think there is a PSA 10 copy of it, which is really cool. I thought about buying it and adding it to my collection, but it's a little out of my range. And for a while there, it was one of those cards that you could find here and there, but nobody ever really made the connection that it was something that was done quite often. Or at least often enough to where collectors could add it as something of a set error, like it was done with the Butterfree. This one looks pretty good other than that top edge. You can see it. It's got that whitening where it really wasn't cut very well. I'm going to start off with Rhyhorn, Nidoran, Goldeen, Jigglypuff, Oddish, Mankey, Paris, Persian, Lickitung, and Rhydon. Come on, Jolteon. Oh man, Snorlax, that's a good one. I forgot about Snorlax. Let's see what he looks like, man. Just flash it in the light a little bit. He looks pretty good. Maybe a few vertical lines over here. Can't really tell if it's going to affect the condition quality. Maybe some up there. I don't see this one getting a 10. Got some minor chipping along the edge. So before you send these in, I guess you get a little bit of a raw review for free if you take in my opinion. But here we go. We have one more pack to go. I would really like to pull the Jolteon, but if we pulled like that scratch error pincer, that'd be pretty cool too. Kangaskhan, I guess, would be a good pull for the guy. I guess now Wigglytuff is low on my list for what I want to pull for him. But man, that Flareon and Vaporeon just looks, I mean, amazing. Couldn't have asked for better condition out of a pack. We'll see what we get there. It's got Goldeen, Pikachu, Bellsprout, Rhyhorn, Jigglypuff, Nidoran, Execute, Primate, Dodrio, and Weeping Bell. And then for the last holo, we have Kangaskhan. Man, I really wanted that Jolteon, but maybe if this one's perfect, I mean, this would be a really nice pull. Looks pretty good. Try to flash it pretty hard. Definitely better than that Snorlax. Looking at the edge. Man, it's crazy trying to analyze a card with such detail. I used to not even care. Oh man, there's one white dot down there. That might hurt it. But it may be small enough to where it's overlooked because the front just looks so good. But anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. We're going to take one last look at these holos. All of these will be going off to PSA, I imagine. But he can choose for himself. Got Clefable, Scyther. Man, they just look great. Electrode, another Clefable. Mr. Mime, that really good looking Vaporeon. Vileplume, Pidgeot, Nidoqueen, and that really, really nice Flareon. I mean, that's a handful of cards right there. Super minty, the second set to ever come out. And these are all first edition and holographic. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video too. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and you want to see more videos like this. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch it and support me. Thanks.